sorted. We now know how to shadow, we know how to face out, and we know how to fake. Let's have a quick look at challenging and backboard clears. How and when. Let's start with challenging. Well, realistically, we understand when to challenge, either when you are facing out near your net or when you are first man most of the time. But we must cover two important challenges: when the opponent is looking for a switch and when we are in an inline shadow. So when in the shadow and the opponent is looking to switch the side of the ball with a lateral dribble, ideally you want to block the opponent doing this, and sometimes side flipping into the ball to prevent them getting across is the way to go. This is usually done when you are in a shadow position and you sit tight as you see them begin to turn. Then you use their movement to minimize the gap between yourself and the ball. Once in that position, dodge into it. This can also be done when you see your opponent looking for a switch when you are facing out. However, much more caution should be used. Generally, when a player is switching and you are facing out, the favorable option is to push fake and get into a shadow position. The reason for this is because if you dive in, they may see it coming and low 50 you. But by doing the fake, they may do a side flip flick and lose possession of the ball. Okay, let's look at inline shadowing. Another form of the challenge from this position is what's known as a half flip challenge. For this, you need to be completely opposite the ball. Now, you can have an inside position, but it's a bit more risky, so generally you just want to be in line with the opponent, and this works really well when they're pushing it down the wing. And as soon as you see a heavy touch, you do the half flip challenge. Now, if you don't know how to do a half flip, do not worry, because coming soon is ground-based mechanics, and half flip will be covered real quickly in that. But if you do know how to do it, that's all you need to know is as soon as you see the opponent and you're in line with them and they push the ball, once they've done their touch, then you do your challenge half flip. Okay, backboard clears. At the higher level, defending the backboard is paramount, as players are so consistent at double touches, and we will cover when to get up on the backboard as part of the rotation later on in the course. But for now, it's important to just get the clears down and understand the mechanics behind that. The big mistake people make with backboard clears is trying to be too fancy. Forget being clever, just get the ball safe. Usually a safe place to play the ball is into the corner. Although if you are really good, you can clear it and follow up with a second touch. So when clearing the ball off the backboard, usually side flipping infield is a good option, as that pushes you out and gives you a little bit more reach. And it also goes with the momentum of the ball. It's important to hit the ball with the front portion of the car to keep it moving over the goal. If you hit it with the middle of the car, it is likely to drop it into your danger zone, which allows an easy counter for the opponent. So I'm going to say this super clearly because this is extremely important. Do not center the ball when on the backboard. This is usually done because people are trying to be too fancy. Just jump and flip and get it towards your corner. However, there are different game modes that require different things, so let's break this down. In ones, you want to keep possession from the backboard, so in this circumstance, try not to do this. Have it! Instead, just catch the ball and try and control it across. In twos, pretty similar if you can get the possession and control it. However, if both opponents are up in the air and your teammate is on the floor, blast the ball hard and try and get it to bounce in field. This way it will be an open net for your teammate to finish. Although if the ball is being pelted and the pace is fast, you may try and hit it off the bounce to put pressure on. But keep this in mind, unless you are accurate on this hit or your opponents are being super aggressive, this could just lead to a turnover of possession, and that's not what you want. In freeze, it's similar again. Control it to the corner if you can, and maybe look for a pass to your teammate. However, with the speed of freeze, this can be unlikely as you get into higher ranks, so you either want to clear it to your corner or clear to an empty space on the pitch if the opponents are pressuring heavily and doing half rotations on your side. Another way to clear the ball off the backboard is something I'm not a huge fan of, and really not many people should be doing this, but you can actually go off your ceiling and flip it away. But again, unless you're really getting heavily pressured, this can be good, but you need mechanics. You generally need a little bit of boost to pull this off as well. But it is just risky because if someone challenges as you're pushing it towards the middle of the field, it could just drop straight down. So just always think, where can I get it into space, or just pull it into the corner? But we do have a training pack for this. And as always, the link is in the top corner. Here we go. It's real simple. What I want to focus on is get it to the corner. As tight to the wall as possible. That's the goal. You see, any inch that it comes off the wall is a potential angle for a shot. So by really crushing it into the wall, we take away the shooting angle and minimize the chance of an instant shot. And by playing it into the corner, ideally if this was freeze, you would have a player on the ground at the front post position there to instantly follow up that touch. And then the last man would go from back post to front post, and you would then rotate round. And that is how you play the game very simply on a defensive shell. So you'll see all I'm doing really is just side flipping out, getting it to the corner. Super simple, guys. Give that one a go. Soon we are moving into the aerial system and then onto more individual mechanics, guys. So this is it for the defensive system as far as the ground is concerned, at least. And I hope that's helped. As always, guys, look after yourself and peace.